Reps Lefebvre, Maddock, and Rendon offered the following resolution: a resolution directing the impeachment of Gretchen E. Whitmer, governor of the state of Michigan, for corrupt conduct in office and crimes and misdemeanors. Whereas Article 11, Section 7 of the Constitution of the state of Michigan of 1963 states, in part, the House of Representatives shall have the sole power of impeaching civil officers for corrupt conduct in office or for crimes or misdemeanors, but a majority of the members elected thereto and serving therein shall be necessary to direct an impeachment. And whereas, in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic, Gretchen E. Whitmer has acted in conflict with her constitutional duties as governor, she has exceeded her constitutional authority, violated the constitutional rights of the people of Michigan, issued orders that are not in the best interests of the people of this state, and used the pandemic as an opportunity to reward political allies. These actions are a matter of public record, primarily in the form of executive orders and the enforcement thereof. Now, therefore, be it resolved in the House of Representatives that Gretchen E. Whitmer, governor of the state of Michigan, is impeached for corrupt conduct in office for the crimes and misdemeanors. The following articles of impeachment are adopted by the House of Representatives and shall be exhibited to the Senate. Articles of impeachment exhibited to the House of Representatives of the state of Michigan in the name of itself and the people of the state of Michigan against Gretchen E. Whitmer, governor of the state of Michigan, in maintenance and support of its impeachment against her for corrupt conduct in office and for crimes of misdemeanors. Article 1. Gretchen E. Whitmer, governor of the state of Michigan, has violated her constitutional oath of office by failing to respect the separation of powers and exercising powers expressly granted to the legislative branch in the Constitution of Michigan of 1963. Governor Whitmer, through numerous executive orders, has bypassed the legislative process, refusing to work with the legislature even when the legislature has been in session, opting to effectively enact, amend, and repeal laws on her own. Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution of the State of Michigan of 1963 provides the powers of government are divided into three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. No person exercising powers of one branch shall exercise powers properly belonging to another branch, except as expressly provided in this Constitution. Article Section 1 of the Michigan Constitution of the State of Michigan of 63 provides, in part, the legislative power of the State of Michigan is vested in the Senate and a House of Representatives. Article V, Section 1 of the Constitution of the State of Michigan of 1963 provides, in part, the executive power is vested in the governor. Article 11, Section 51? I don't think they have that right. Of the Constitution of the State of Michigan of 1963 provides, in part, the legislature shall pass suitable laws for the protection and promotion of the public health. Article Section 1 of the Constitution of the State of Michigan of 1963 provides, in part, all officers, legislative, executive, and judicial, therefore entering upon the duties of their respective offices, shall take and prescribe the following oath or affirmation. I do so solemnly swear to affirm the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of blah, 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 according to the best of my ability. Governor Whitmer's actions during the COVID-19 pandemic have exceeded the executive powers granted to the governor in the state constitution, and she has exercised powers properly belonging to the legislative branch. Governor Whitmer has issued dozens of executive orders which have been expansive in scope and have reordered life in every person in the state. The orders include but are not limited to, prohibiting evictions, Executive Order number 2020-19, and Executive Order 2020-54, banning the non-essential medical procedures, Executive Order number 2020-17, permitting public bodies to meet electronically, Executive Order number 2020-15, Executive Order number 2020-48, and Executive Order number 2020-75, permitting public bodies to delay fulfillment of the public records requests, Executive Orders number 2020-38, closing businesses, Executive Order number 2020-09, Executive Order number 2020-20, Executive Order number 2020-69, and requiring residents to stay in their homes with limited exceptions, Executive Order number 2020-21, Executive Order 2020-42, Executive Order number 2020-59, Executive Order number 2020-70, Executive Order number 2020-77, Executive Order number 2020-92, and Executive Order number 2020-96. Through these orders, Governor Whitmer has unilaterally overridden legislatively enacted laws, including but not limited to the revised Judicature Law or Act, the Open Meetings Act, and the Freedom of Information Act, and created new laws in violation of the separation of powers guaranteed in the state constitution. State law grants emergency powers to the governor for the purpose of responding to immediate crises, but the governor may only act in the manner that is consistent with the Constitution or constitutionally mandated separation of powers. The state constitution does not permit the governor to bypass the legislative process, nor does it empower her to unilaterally make or amend laws for the protection of public health. Governor Whitmer has repeatedly stated that she does not need further legislative authorization for any of her actions and continues to violate the separation of powers, even when the legislature has been in session passing bills in the response to the pandemic. Her efforts to circumvent the legislature and the state constitution violates her constitutional oath of office. Wherefore, Gretchen E. Whitmer, by such conduct, warrants impeachment and trial and removal from office. Article 2. Gretchen E. Whitmer, Governor of the State of Michigan, has failed to uphold her constitutional oath of office, violating rights guaranteed in the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of 1963. Governor Whitmer, through executive orders, has restricted and effectively banned the free exercise of religion in the state of Michigan in violation of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution of the State of Michigan of 1963. The First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States provides, in part, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Article 2, Section 4 of the Constitution of the State of Michigan of 1963 provides, in part, every person shall be at liberty to worship God according to the dictates of his own conscience. Article XI, Section 1 of the Constitution of the State of Michigan of 1963 provides, in part, all officers, legislative, executive, and judicial, therefore entering upon the their duties of their respective offices, shall take and subscribe the following oath and affirmation. I do so solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of blah, 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 according to the best of my ability. During the course of the COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Whitmer has issued the following executive orders, which have restricted the free exercise of religion in the state of Michigan. Executive Order number 2020-05, Executive Order number 2020-11, Executive Order number 2020-21, Executive Order number 2020-42, Executive Order number 2020-59, Executive Order number 2020-70, and Executive Order number 2020-77, Executive Order number 2020-92, and the Executive Order number 2020-69, or 96. These orders have limited the number of people who may gather in one place and restricted individuals' ability to leave their homes and to participate in religious worship and events. Well, the governor's later orders have included language including that places of worship and individuals participating in the religious practices would not be subject to criminal penalties for violating the orders. The restriction itself, even if not enforced via criminal processes in all circumstances, is a direct violation to the constitutional rights of the people of Michigan. Governor Whitmer swore an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state of Michigan of 1963, and her executive orders banning gatherings and requiring people to stay at home have infringed upon rights guaranteed in both wherefore Gretchen E. Whitmer by such conduct warrants impeachment and trial and removal from office. Article 3. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Gretchen E. Whitmer, Governor of the state of Michigan, has taken a number of extreme actions that have not been necessary for the protection of the public and have had significant adverse effects on the people of Michigan. Significant adverse effects on the people of Michigan. Well, the pandemic is serious public health crisis, requiring substantial mitigation efforts. Governor Whitmer's aggressive and poorly justified actions, such as banning nearly all non-emergency medical or medicine and the use of motorized boats, are evidence of the governor's failure to properly manage this crisis. Governor Whitmer banned all non-essential medical, dental, and veterinary procedures under Executive Order number 2017, Executive Order number 2020-32, and Executive Orders number 2020-34. Similarly, Governor Whitmer's stay-at-home orders, Executive Order number 2020-21, Executive Order number 2020-42, Executive Order number 2020-59, Executive Order number 2020-70, and Executive Order number 2020-77 have only granted exceptions for people leaving their residence to seek medical or dental care, to treat a medical emergency, and where or when necessary to preserve a person's health or safety. This is universal statewide prohibition on medical, dental, and veterinary care that the governor has deemed non-essential. Has had significant consequences for the people of Michigan and for health care providers across our state, while postponing some elective procedures may not pose an immediate health risk to patients. Many procedures have been banned, even though they are still needed to preserve patients' quality of life and long-term well-being. Closing down significant portions of the healthcare system has had destructive effects on hospitals, clinics, and other providers. Healthcare providers rely on revenue from procedures and treatment of all kinds to remain in business, and banning them from providing a full range of services to their patients has led to layoffs and furloughs. Providers in areas of the state with fewer cases have faced particularly negative consequences as their facilities sit empty, unable to treat patients is in need despite the capacity to do so. Health and hospital organizations such as the American Hospitals Association have been issued standards to guide the safe resumption of elective surgeries and other procedures. Numerous other states have determined it is safe and appropriate to ease their restrictions to elective medical treatments as the stress on their healthcare systems from COVID-19 abated. All right, Bella, we're going to walk back. Hold on. Abated. the Governor Whitmer continued to impose numerous limitations or erroneous limitations on important health care in the state, basis on no considerations made for regional differences in the spread of COVID-19 or in the numerous economic impact in healthcare. Nope, get out of there. Come on. In healthcare, prohibitions have caused. Governor Whitmer further acted against the interests of people of Michigan with no connection to public safety and temporarily banning the use of motorized boats under executive order. So I'm not even gonna continue reading this. I mean, it goes on for quite a bit further, but apparently, and this is the part that I wanted to get to for some YouTubers. This right here. So Gretchen E. Whitmer, governor of the state of Michigan, sought to direct a no-bid contract for COVID-19 contact tracing. And I did post a video about contact traces, which I thought to be kind of comical, to a partisan political firm utilizing state resources to reward political allies. The state announced in April 2020 that it had approved a Every Action van, capital VAN, to help track information and contracts and to help organize phone banking. I want to read that again. To help organize phone banking for the purpose of contact tracing. Every Action van has direct ties to people and organizations that perform political work for political parties and organizations and candidates in Michigan. One more time, the state announced in April 2020 that it had approved a contract to use the platform Every Action van, capital VAN, to help track information and contacts and to help organize phone tracking for the purposes of contact tracing. Every Action VAN has direct ties to people and organizations that perform political work and political organizations for political parties, organizations, and candidates in Michigan. I don't know if that is sinkable, whether that is going to sink into some people, but to me, I find that very, very pertinent. That's why I just repeated it multiple times, because I'd like to know the very first person that ever announced or mentioned COVID-19. Boom, boom, boom. I'd like to know the first person that ever mentioned that, because see, the thing is this resolution and all these, this House resolution number 324. See, the legislature may have done that, but the legislature also ignored the local municipal resolutions that told y'all to bring our freaking bring our analog meters back. But the state didn't bring our analog meters back. Instead, they rolled with, the COVID-19, pandemic narrative and ran with that instead of acknowledging that they had just encroached on our houses and didn't bring them back the way they should have. So now that that's out of the way, I hope you all have a good day. But I find that to be quite interesting, considering the fact that she's still acting as governor, but she's not the governor apparently, because I just read the impeachment thing that was served to her.